My name is Ingrid Veninger. I am an assistant professor in cinema and media arts, which is part of ampd. And currently I'm the area head of screenwriting, and I am the director of the York University Motion Media Studio, which is where we are right now, this space here. This space, which we call YUMS, York University Motion Media Studio, is situated in CineSpace, which is a massive studio compound where huge Academy Award feature film productions and episodic television like The Handmaid's Tale is produced. We are celebrating the end of a 6-week, very intensive, highly participatory shooting the set course, which is a summer intensive. And we're calling it the Green Screen Edition. So students in the span of 6 weeks, and they're students from across ampd, so they're in design, they're in theater, they're in music, they're in production, they're in screenwriting, came together to conceive of stories. And in 6 weeks, they are manifesting those stories utilizing green screen. And today we celebrated the short films.
I'm in the double major honors program for psychology and theater, and I got into STS as a screenwriter for the screenplay Digging for Sunshine.
Be able to day drink on Rodeo Drive, and I won't have a singular care in the world.
Everyone was very accommodating because I felt almost like imposter syndrome coming in of like, oh, I'm the only one who got accepted into screenwriting who's not a screenwriting major or who doesn't have like a background in this, and everyone was very lovely and supportive, and nobody made me feel like I couldn't do it. Everyone was like, you can do this.
It was great to just sit, in a roundtable discussion and just kind of, pitch these ideas to each other and kind of battle it out in a very polite way. And as a writer, it was a lot of fun to just have a deadline, one night, come up with like a first draft, and then talk with the actors and with the directors and with everybody and figure out, how can we translate this script that just basically just got baked into this film that's going to be shot next week. So the time crunch was a lot of fun.
Shooting the set started as a course inspired by the Renaissance we're currently living within in terms of the new Neo-Realism in Toronto. And by that I mean the new Neo-Realist films that are being made by local filmmakers, both in downtown Toronto, but also in the 905 in Scarborough. And I think of films like Scarborough or Brother by Clement Virgo. And we brought it to this class of 30 students saying, find stories in your own lives and collectively, collaboratively, co-create, bring them to life on screen using techniques of green screen cinema. We generally associate green screen cinema with Marvel movies and action and adventure. And so it's very counterintuitive to try and apply green screen to new neo-realism, which is often defined by shooting on location. So working with green screen is a real creative challenge in terms of overcoming the artifice of green screen to find authentic stories within that process of co-creation. The interest in salt had to do with the universality of salt. I first got inspired by salt reading about how salt batteries are going to actually transform the battery industry, replacing lithium. Salt batteries have so many new possibilities in terms of length and longevity, and when we think about our new technologies today and the centrality of batteries. Then from there, thinking about bodies and the salt that's in our bodies, in our sweat, in our blood, thinking about the salt that's in our food, of course, but expanding from there, also thinking about the largest salt mine in the world, which is just a couple hundred miles away on Lake Huron, where the Sifto salt factory is. So thinking about salt and how many different ways it filters into our lives and filters into our stories. There was a lot of practical experience, a lot of creative experience in terms of how do we work together, and especially how do we work together telling intimate personal stories and making them come alive together. And then finally, the logistics of how they go forward as aspiring filmmakers and storytellers.
Feels like entering the industry is possible. So in addition to the amazing space, you're like this close to what you want to do for the rest of your life, and that's really exciting.